It's my great honor to introduce you to the new member of the family, the Ranger Raptor. So it is in the family. Its character as an agile, sporty raptor amongst the others of the rock crawlers and the big, powerful RAPTORs. This is its place, and I'll kind of go through how it fits into the family. So the first time I got behind the wheel of a Ranger Raptor was in Australia, where we were doing the tuning on the shock tuning. So going through that, because we have a lot of experience with Fox Live Valve and bringing us into the Ranger Raptor. We flew out to Australia as soon as COVID lifted and went to their dirt track courses, and really drives home the point when you want that damping in a corner, because the dirt tracks they run at, there's eucalyptus trees planted on each corner of the dirt track. So as you kind of go through that, you want to make sure that you actually have that confidence. So we spent a lot of time with them tuning the truck in that environment, and then we shipped the trucks over to Baja Springs, which is the family haunt for Raptors, and paired it up with a Bronco Raptor and an F-150 Raptor R, and took it out for kind of a wrestling match in the family, right? We go run them hard in the desert, right? Making sure the Ranger Raptor can keep up with the other two. And it proves itself in its mettle there as the DNA that creates that chassis and the powertrain. It can run quick. It does a great job ducking sagebrush because of its mid-size size, whereas a Bronco Raptor just kind of plows over them. So it has that nimble feel both in the North American market that we've set it up for. So you need tires, shock system, steering, and then matches to its heritage from Australia, where it was set up on the dirt tracks. So if we look at our history of Raptor, one of the big things we've always done is really try to build a factory direct trophy truck, right? So from when we originally started this brand about 20 years ago, we launched the 2009 F-150 Raptor. That was the intent, and you know, we've kind of built that brand on having an off-road desert racer, that durability, and as we evolved with the Bronco Raptor and now with the Ranger Raptor, all those vehicles deliver on that enthusiast promise of taking a vehicle and you can go off and drive it at that limit and still have no issue coming back again. So for the Ranger customer, if you look at that in the halo product the Ranger Raptor will bring to the Ranger brand, they're an adventurous customer. They want to get out, they want to push to the limits, right? They want to really get out there and experience life, right? And so the Ranger Raptor really fits and exemplifies that imagery and that capability. So it fits really nice into the Ranger lineup. If we look at the DNA that creates a Raptor, it really has a lot to do with how we set up the powertrain, the chassis, the exhaust system, the basic architecture, right, for track width, size of tires. So if we go through the Ranger Raptor individually, you'll see each of these components as it delivers that DNA to match with the rest of the Raptors. So a big thing for the Ranger Raptor is the 3-liter powertrain, which now comes standard. So this is a powertrain we co-developed with the Bronco Raptor. So if you look at it, it looks very familiar to what we've done on Bronco Raptor, right? So the air induction system, we spent a lot of time, we're doing the analytics to get a free-flowing air induction system, charge air cooler system, really dropping all those losses. Again, the air inlet's just a little bit different on Ranger Raptor due to the architecture of the hood, but everything else as you go back is actually the same components we use on the Bronco Raptor. So that gives us that free-flowing intake. Again, the turbochargers, this is a Ford Performance unique engine with the 3-liter. So it's set up that you get 90% of peak horsepower at redline. So you can basically get into the throttle, the vehicle's egging you on, right? It's you holding it back, not the engine. So we drive that through into an exhaust system. Again, a little bit longer vehicle, a little bit different fuel tank setup. It's got a pickup box, right? So it still is a true dual exhaust out the back with active exhaust. All the lessons learned of all the other ones we've been working on, right? Has an X pipe to guarantee that you're going to get high flow at RPM, and then blends that V6 sound. And same thing we always do, you get an exhaust mode selection, right? You know, Baja is only off-road, so please only drive it that way. And you can do that a la carte, and that really is, free-flowing pipes, right? And then we have quiet mode, just as we have on all other Raptors, right? Just in case you want to start it up to your neighbor's house, you don't have to worry about that at 2 a.m. or sneaking home late at night, right? So we still offer that feature. But it gives us a lot of capability to really deliver that 405 horsepower. Just a little bit less because of the length of the exhaust system than the Bronco Raptor, but in essence it is the same calibration, and then the 430 horsepower again through the 10-speed transmission. So that gives you the capability now to put exactly what you want for power to the ground, right? We run a big OD tire relative to the rest of the vehicle line on Ranger, so we need that 10-speed capability to really set that gear up just right so you actually get in the sand or dirt or wherever you are, you get that power and really accelerate out. And it really has transformed the Ranger Raptor from the first generation. So it really pushed hard on us to how are we going to control this vehicle, just like if it's a Mustang, right? We're going to be heading into that corner, the eucalyptus trees there. We're going faster than we've ever gone with the diesel, right? So it really drove the tuning team to really go into a shock system and really push the limits of what we could get out of that, because as soon as you turn, you want that damping control. So all the algorithms we use are like our Ford Performance proprietary. So we control the dampers from a Fox live valve system, but we use the same controller logic that's learned from what we do on a Bronco or an F-150 Raptor R, right? So the speeds of reaction time of that damping system and how we can sense terrain and predict terrain becomes critical in this application, where it's got a narrower vehicle, a lot of power for its size, so you really want that nimbleness character to it. So you really have to rely on what you can get out of the front shock system to really have that turning capability. So we run a Fox damper, slightly different architecture, it's 2.5 for this vehicle, but we really drive it hard with the control logic, so we get the most of that 2.5 to control this body to get the most capability out of the total vehicle as you stitch it together with the engine. Chassis, what's great about Ford Performance, everybody's enthusiast, right? So the chassis team and the dynamics team, right, they are, on their weekend time, they're navigators for rally cars is what they do over there, versus, we've got people in my team in North America that run King of Hammers, right? It's just, in the environment you're on, these are all the enthusiasts, and that's the race circuits they run. So for the Raptor, we do all new suspensions, no difference on this vehicle. All new front suspension compared to the base. Ranger, all new rear suspension. So upper lower control arms, steering gear right, toe links, right? Of course, the live valve shocks gives you 1.5 inches more travel. The track width's out 3.5 inches than the base Ranger. We run a Watts link on this vehicle, which works really well in this application. It's got more cornering capability. So for a vehicle that we're trying to set up in the family to the sporty side versus, the go anywhere rock crawling Bronco Raptor, they set themselves apart as they're two positions in the family, but can still brawl it all out in Borrego. So the Watts link in the rear, we get the leafs out of there, and the Watts links give you that capability not only for travel, but a lot of control. We run a coil over on this setup, which gives us a lot of control on the shock system, so we don't have the shock spring kind of disconnected. So it really gives us the ability with a vehicle that's smaller, a little bit less travel than we have on the big Bronco, but we can get that control out of the live valve, both from its position sensibility, position sensitive damping, right? So the way that works is you drill holes in the side. It basically creates damping force change as the piston itself moves. And then on top of that, there is a valve that's electrically controlled that has an algorithm for ride height, yaw, speed, predictability of what you're driven over to what's actually going on, loud pedal, all the stuff we talked about, jump mode, all that. That is another enabler. As we go in through the piston, we can change its bypass system electronically rapidly to then create that extra damping we need when you're actually turning hard in the desert to miss, a sagebrush tree or a eucalyptus tree, depending on the size of your event. So that's that's the core of a lot of what we spend our time on, and a lot of the interaction we have between the global team has been working on it. So I think I'll take a little bit of time and kind of go through what is the exterior and interior. I think as you walked up, there was no doubt it was a Raptor. Big FORD on the grills. If you look at the grill pattern, very similar to what we do on F-150 Raptor. Then steel bumper, fog lamps, bash plates, all to draw your eye out to the width that we've increased by 3.5 inches. Running boards are, in essence, cast aluminum, same as we use on the other Raptors. Again, for rock deflection as you're going on running. As we extend out, we do the wheel lip moldings, again, for protection, the coverage requirements. New fenders, new box outers, you got to cover up the wheels and tires. So really, when you look at it, you know, a lot of new parts as you go into a Raptor. Same kit of fits, right? New frame, new front suspension, rear suspension, engine, fenders, grills, bumpers, box outers. And it all gives you that muscular sense as we drag those lines out, right? You can see it on both vehicles, the Coke bottle shape that is created as we drag it out, and a lot of love goes into the metal work to really create those lines that you can see in the shelter green, kind of pulls the lines out. Also on this vehicle here, it shows the 33-inch beadlock wheels. That's the new for this model year. And again, 33-inch tires, Michelin BFGs, a slightly different tire because we're coming out of a US plant than what we have overseas. And again, the shocks are tuned to match up to that tire. Interior-wise, I think the big thing about the interior, all the touch surfaces, is what we focus on in Ford Performance. You can go ahead, take a look. Real sporty. Everything about seats is lateral support when you're running. If you can't sit in the seat and control the steering wheel, all the work on the chassis and the powertrain is much harder to control if you're holding onto the steering wheel. And on the steering wheel, you'll notice we do all the things with what we call a la carte modes. You can set the damper settings, set the exhaust settings, set your steering settings, and then save it in my mode. Quick rapid button, the R button will take you into that. Paddle shifters that are live and drive, so if you want to downshift immediately, you can do that quick. Same magnesium trait we use on all the Raptors. And then it really kind of has a more sporty look than our others, and I think that has really resonated.
Like the old generation,
he
has the LED taillights, the glare over there, and halogen taillights.
To really drive home that point of what this Raptor delivers. So on the cluster, it's what we've had on the other Raptors. Again, you get really see my gauges, all the other features that you normally look for measurement systems, status screens. So as you go through the drive modes, same as what you guys are used to, right? It'll change. Sport changes the throttle response, transmission response, damper response, and that'll give you the fastest shifts possible. Normal is set up for regular driving. Baja will change the exhaust system to the loud setting and also provide you like shift and pivot, so we're always at peak power, peak torque. You just hold it there, so as you're driving, you get the best sense of the vehicle. Okay, I think I tried to encapsulate it as much as possible. Any questions or things you guys want to look at?
I want to hear what it sounds like. Rev it.
Hear what it sounds like?
Yeah.
Could do that.
From Baja mode, maybe?
Maybe.
I just put it in Baja mode.
I did. for it.
Go for it.
Sound like it's silent mode slowly.
Down low.
Look at the rear bumper looks
There's your quiet mode.
I wonder if the valves will work when I cut the cats off.
Any other questions?
Right, if there's no other questions, then
Yeah,
that
those taillights look
concludes
good.